Caramel Elegant Fall Looks 2026/27, inspired by Hermes. Soft opening. Welcome to Classy Vibe Fashion, and I'm really glad you're here with me today. In this video article, I want to explore something that feels both timeless and incredibly modern at the same time. Tan and Caramel Elegant Fall Looks for 2026/27, inspired by Hermes. When I first started noticing this palette returning in luxury fashion circles, I felt a quiet excitement because it speaks to a kind of understated confidence. I think there's something deeply personal about how these warm tones shape the way we present ourselves to the world. The color story. When I think about tan and caramel, I don't just see colors, I see moods and atmospheres. In my experience, these tones behave almost like emotional filters for an outfit, softening everything around them. What I find interesting is how they never scream for attention, yet they always get noticed. This is not accidental. It's a kind of visual intelligence built into the palette itself. Why tan works in fall? Tan works so well in fall because it mirrors the natural world as it shifts into warmer decay and golden light. I think people underestimate how much seasonal alignment affects perception of style. Unlike most people who chase bold contrast in autumn, I prefer harmony with the environment. There's a quiet strength in blending rather than competing with the season. Caramel as emotional warmth. Caramel tones carry a kind of emotional softness that feels almost comforting to wear. In my experience, wearing caramel makes me feel more approachable without losing elegance. It's interesting how a single shade can influence not just how others see you, but how you carry yourself. Do you ever notice how certain colors change your mood instantly? Hermès inspiration. The Hermès-inspired aesthetic brings a refined discipline to these warm tones that I personally admire. I think what sets it apart is the quiet precision in every detail, from tailoring to texture. It's not about excess, but about intention. When I observe this style direction, I feel like every piece is speaking a language of restraint and mastery. Texture matters more than color. In my experience, texture often communicates more than color ever could. A caramel leather coat behaves completely differently than a soft wool in the same shade. What I find fascinating is how texture adds emotional depth without changing the palette at all. It makes me wonder why more people don't experiment beyond surface-level styling. Unexpected styling insight. Here's something that surprised me. Tan and caramel actually become more luxurious when slightly imperfect in tone variation. I think perfection in matching can sometimes make an outfit feel flat. A subtle mismatch creates movement and realism that feels more human. Have you ever tried pairing two, almost matching, shades and noticed how much richer it looks? Contrast with typical fall fashion. Unlike most people who lean into dark blacks and deep burgundy during fall, I find myself gravitating toward lighter warmth. I think this contrast actually makes the look stand out even more in a seasonal crowd. It challenges the expectation of what fall dressing should look like. In a way, it feels like rewriting the visual rules of the season. my personal wardrobe experience. In my own wardrobe, I've noticed that tan pieces are the ones I reach for when I want clarity in my look. I think they simplify decision-making without sacrificing elegance. There's something grounding about wearing tones that feel natural rather than dramatic. It makes getting dressed feel less like performance and more like alignment. Layering philosophy. Layering in these tones is something I've come to treat almost like storytelling. I think each layer should slightly shift the emotional temperature of the outfit. In my experience, the most interesting looks happen when nothing is too obvious at first glance. The deeper you look, the more you discover. Minimalism versus luxury. I often find myself questioning whether minimalism and luxury are opposites or actually partners. In my view, true luxury often hides inside simplicity rather than complexity. What surprises me is how a restrained caramel palette can feel more expensive than heavily decorated outfits. It's a reminder that presence matters more than excess. Accessories that change everything. Accessories in tan and caramel outfits act like punctuation marks in a sentence. I think even the smallest detail can shift the entire meaning of a look. A belt, a bag, or even a subtle gold accent can completely redefine the mood. Have you ever noticed how one small accessory can change how confident you feel? full of light and shadow. What I find fascinating is how these warm tones react differently under changing light. In natural daylight, they feel grounded and earthy, but under artificial light, they become almost cinematic. I think this duality is what makes them so powerful in real-life settings. It's never just one fixed identity. Mistakes people make. One mistake I often see is overcomplicating outfits with too many competing tones. I think people underestimate how strong simplicity can be when executed well. In my experience, adding too much breaks the calm visual rhythm that tan and caramel naturally create. Sometimes less really does feel more intentional. I personally style outfits. When I style outfits in this palette, I usually start from one anchor piece and build around it slowly. I think this method helps maintain balance without forcing coordination. What I find most rewarding is seeing how each addition subtly shifts the final mood. It feels almost like composing music rather than assembling clothes. Counterintuitive truth. Here's something I didn't expect at first. The softer the color palette, the stronger the overall presence can become. I think people assume boldness comes from loud colors, but that's not always true. In my experience, quiet confidence often reads louder than visual intensity. It makes me question how we define statement fashion in the first place. engaging your perspective. At this point, I really want to ask you something directly. Do you think warm, neutral tones like tan and caramel can feel more powerful than darker fall palettes? I think this is where personal perception becomes really important in style. Everyone experiences color differently, and that's what makes fashion so personal. I'd love to know how you see it. Visual balance and silhouettes. In my opinion, silhouettes matter just as much as color when working with these tones. I think structured shapes bring clarity, while softer cuts bring emotion. What I find interesting is how the same color can feel completely different depending on the form it takes. It's like the outfit tells a different story just by changing its outline. Emotional impact of outfits. I've noticed that outfits in tan and caramel often create a calmer emotional response in both the wearer and the observer. In my experience, this kind of quiet visual language can reduce overstimulation in a very subtle way. I think fashion should sometimes feel like breathing space rather than noise. That's what makes this palette so powerful for me. Closing reflection. As I reflect on everything we've explored, I feel that tan and caramel are more than just seasonal trends. They're a mindset of elegance and restraint. I think they represent a quieter form of confidence that doesn't rely on attention-seeking. What do you personally feel when you wear warm, neutral tones like these? If you enjoyed this exploration with me today, make sure to subscribe to Classy Vibe Fashion for more thoughtful style journeys like this.